Excellent. Well, welcome everybody to our Ask a MOS Champion webinar. We are super excited to be here with you today. My name is Dominique Delbar, and I am the competitions manager over here at Certiport. And I am thrilled to have both Jan Wendt and Hunter Liss with us today. They have been participating in the competitions for a while now. Hunter has come, I think, 2 times that I can remember. Hunter, is that correct?
Yes, I went to 2 national competitions and also one world competition.
Yeah, it's so you're a veteran. You've been around, which is great. And Jan is his teacher, and we're again so excited to be together today to learn from them. We have about a 30-minute long webinar, and I think there's going to be a lot of great information for both teachers and students. So without further ado, I'm going to pass the mic over to both Hunter and Jan to tell us a little bit about themselves.
My name is Hunter Liss. I live in Columbus, Nebraska, and I got started in all of this because of my teacher, Mrs. Jan Wendt, and it's really been an amazing experience from both sides, getting to learn more about the programs and preparing myself for my future.
That's amazing. That's great. Thank you for sharing. Jan, would you like to go next?
I am also a senior at my high school.
That's so exciting. So exciting. You have about a semester left. Oh my gosh. That's
Yep,
crazy.
and then I plan to return again.
Yes. Yeah. That's great. That's great. Perfect.
Okay. My name is Jan Wendt. I'm the business technology instructor here at Lakeview High School, Columbus, Nebraska. Lakeview is a rural high school a little bit north of our town, Columbus. We're a Class C1, about 300 and some students approximately. And I've been in education for 40 years. So I've seen a lot of changes through the years, particularly with technology. Yeah, I love what I do, and I'm just a big proponent of this whole Microsoft certification process and all that it can do for kids.
Yeah, I love that. I mean, speaking of that, so Jan, you've been in education, you said, for 40 years. How did you first get involved in certification?
Okay, so yeah, I thought about that. In Nebraska, in 2014, the governor at that time saw the need and value in the Microsoft Initiative program, and it got passed, and schools were offered the opportunity to apply to become a part of the initiative, which, if we qualified, then allowed us to become a testing center, and we received 500 free vouchers. I mean, just an amazing investment in our students because they saw the importance of that. And Nebraska is really good about valuing computers and technology in general, but we're one of the first to now, by law, we have to offer a computer science program. So I give a lot of credit to our governor at that time for getting the ball rolling and giving schools this opportunity.
Yeah, that really is incredible. It makes a huge difference. It adds great value to the curriculum in the moment, but then also for years to come for the students too. These are lifelong skills. So that's incredible. That's really, really cool. How did you start getting involved? I guess this question is for both of you. How did you guys start getting involved with the competition? So they're implemented in the classroom, and then there's some sort of competition for them. What did you do to get involved?
Yeah, so it all started during my sophomore year with a required computer class that everybody in my class had to take. And the biggest opportunity was being able to certify and earn these certifications in Word, Excel, and PowerPoint were the basic ones. And it all started with Word 2016, where my first attempt, I earned a perfect score. Yeah. So I earned a perfect score, which landed me a ticket to the national competition. And with lots of preparation over the summer, lots of hours spent, I ended up in Dallas, Texas to see and meet all of you.
That is amazing. On your first try too. That's huge. That's amazing, Hunter. And then, I mean, I don't want to give away any spoilers, but then you went on to win that competition as well, right?
Yes.
That is really cool. Jan, why did you decide to get your students involved in the competitions?
Okay, well, so then with these these vouchers, obviously we wanted to utilize that opportunity. So, as Hunter mentioned, as a sophomore, we have a class called IT Apps, which is required, and basically we go through a unit of Word, and then we prepare, and then we test. Everyone tests. Um, and then we move on to Excel, and then we test, and then PowerPoint, and then we test. And then there's opportunities in between time because not everyone passes the first time. You know, Hunter is definitely like a phenom. I mean, to ace the test the first time and continue the journey as he has is very rare. And so, and I know that, but it also is he's put in the time. A lot of it I think comes naturally, and hopefully I taught him a little bit. I don't know, but along the line, he has put in countless hours of preparation, and deserves all the honors he's received.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. It's true. It takes a teacher to lead lead someone to water, but then it also takes a dedicated student to be like, hey, this is a good thing. Like, I need to drink this water. This is a good thing that I can take advantage of. So that's amazing. That's incredible. What did both of you do to prepare for the event? And I guess also to prepare for certification.
So one of my main forms of practice was retaking those tests over and over again.
Yeah.
I ended up qualifying and certifying in Word Expert as well. I believe I got my score down to 10 minutes, a perfect score in the Word Expert division. So that was a big way to practice. We
Yeah.
also, with the connections I made in Dallas, I gained access to Gmetrics, which is very similar to your testing program. And then there was also other YouTube videos that I found that were able to assist. And overall, there were a lot of hours put in during the summer to prepare.
Yeah. That's a lot of skill polishing. That's really cool though. That's great. Jen, what do you do to help your students polish their skills in the classroom?
Well, you want me to talk about some of the resources a little bit?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, so first of all, I, over the years have found different textbooks that have, in my opinion, have really been great resources for students to cover the material. And what I have found is the illustrated series of Microsoft does an excellent job of taking kids through step by step how to do things and then what it should look like, when they're finished. Of course, we do many of these together, so that I can personally help them through that. But what I love about my position is that it's a lab. It's like a real workplace, you do your job. I am here. I am your supervisor. I will help you, of course. But just like the real world, you've got to do some trial and error and troubleshoot. And because that's what real life is about. But I have found that this particular text and publisher do a wonderful job of covering most of the concepts that are on the actual Microsoft Office specialist exams. Additionally, then, we don't just finish Word and then say, hey, okay, here, take the test.
Yeah.
Number one, never taking the test the first time is a little bit, if you don't kind of prepare them for what it looks like, it's completely different from what they're used to.
Yeah.
So we take some time to talk about, okay, this is how the layout is for the exam. There's a tutorial at first, and of course they read the tutorial the first time, but after that, they kind of skip through that. But, it's very easy to navigate. But again, the shock of that first test, and having the time limit, you don't want them to have worry about navigating through and not really understanding how it's set up. So we do take time to discuss how the test is set up and how, if you don't know how to do something, move on, come back later. Mark it, as flag it for later, right? And then, but in addition to kind of preparing them for what the format of the test is, I found, in my opinion, a wonderful resource that, I have 4 sections. I have about 95 students total. Yeah, they're good. They're big size, like 20 to 24 per class. So the best way that I have found to help prepare them right before the test, like to do like a review before the day before we take the test, it's called Mike's Office. He's a Canadian technology instructor that I stumbled upon and found his YouTubes. And then you can also, they used to be free, but now you can purchase the files that go with them, but they're very, very reasonable, like $3 a month. But anyway, what I found about his YouTubes is that we can all do it together. We can stop it and then work through it if they have problems. Plus, he's very engaging. I mean, the kids stay engaged. They like to see it and hear it and then do it. So for me, I think that's been because he is the videos actually go over concepts that we don't necessarily get into in the book. So it's like additional material to help them be ready for the test.
I love that. And I love that you use multiple resources too, because I think we were talking about it a little bit earlier. Every student learns a little bit differently. And I don't know about everyone else, but for me, I need things repeated to me several times too in different ways. And so I love that you use multiple resources to help prepare students for certification, but then also in turn, it helps them prepare for the competition as well. And Hunter, I love that you really utilize those exams to the practice tests, the exams themselves, to prepare for success at the U.S. National Championship. I love that there's multiple things coming into play to help solidify the knowledge and to expand it too. I mean, that's awesome. That's really great. Changing gears just a little bit. So you prepare for the exam, you take the certification exam, you earn an invitation, and then you get to go to the U.S. National Championship, and then in turn, eventually the World Championship if you win the U.S. National Championship. So Hunter, can you tell us a little bit about your experience at the championships, and maybe tell us about what one or two of your favorite parts were?
It's definitely a learning experience going into something so national or international, even meeting people from a lot of different places and even the staff themselves. My favorite part is learning about and connecting with the people, not just the friends I've made, but also the staff that work there. I've gotten to know the staff well, and they always remember my face and my smile, and it's nice to talk to them again. And the friends that I met there, I've definitely established some lifelong connections with. We spent a lot of time over multiple summers getting to know each other, and we still have some communication to this day as well. And with connections that I've made, it's unlocked some other resources for me as well, like Gmetrics, LearnKey, and other programs like that. That's going to help me with my future in testing and also going into the world in general.
I love that. And it's true. I mean, Hunter, you are a legend over here. People talk about you and your story. So it's pretty incredible. And I did notice actually this past US National Championship, I think you and a few others from 2022 were wearing matching shirts. Were you not? I think at the awards ceremony, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we were.
So that's amazing. That's great. I'm really glad that you were able to create those connections and those friendships. I love that. I think Ben, yeah, I think I saw Ben there. You guys were matching. I think there was one other person. So that's really, really cool.
Andrew,
yes, Andrew.
And Dominique, the craziest thing is all 3 of those boys won.
We all got second place at the last national competition.
But the first one,
we all won,
yeah,
and we went to the world competition.
But then last year they all got second. Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy. You guys are all in sync somehow. That's great though. I'm really glad that you're able to make the friendships because I mean the competitions are about I mean showing off your skills, right? And being recognized for those skills, but also a big component is making those friendships that last a very long time and can help you right now and also in your future too as you continue to build up your network. So I really, really love that. Um, what opportunities for you, Hunter, have opened up since you've earned your certification or since competing?
Well, as soon as I won, it's definitely a big publicity item where people are always asking questions and asking, "What is that? How did you win that?"
Yeah,
And then I went through the airport with it and I got even more questions asking about it. And one person who was from Australia, he makes signs that go up in the airports. He offered me a job to work for him on the spot as well. And along with that, I've also gotten other offers like to work at a law firm. And then there are also people around the school, friends or teachers who ask me for their help. Maybe it's a project, maybe it's a small question, but I help as much as I can when needed.
that's really cool. That's so cool. And it's pretty legendary. I mean, you're carrying your big check that you just won, and then someone's like, hey, what is that? Do you want a job? That's really cool. And how old were you again when you're walking through the airport with your big check?
I would have been 16.
Yeah, that's incredible. That's incredible. That's ultimately really what certification is about. Yes, you can prepare to take an exam, but it's really adding these tools to your toolkit so you can have those job offers. So it opens up opportunities for you. So you'll have the edge over other candidates. So that's really cool. That's really embodying what the competitions, what certification is all about. So I love that. Thank you for sharing. Um, Jan, how have you seen certification or even the competitions help your other students with their goals?
Well, I just wanted to one more feather
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Hunter's hat. Around here at Lakeview, everyone knows he's the go-to person.
Oh, I love that.
If you need help with things, and he's always so willing to do that, and very approachable. And last year he went to nationals in PowerPoint, and so the Career Tech department here at Lakeview is applying for an award. And immediately at our first planning meeting, they said, "Well, we'll put this all together." And then ultimately, do you think Hunter would just put together a nice PowerPoint for us? I'm like, I'm sure he will, without asking. But then, of course, I did ask, and I think he's all about it. So, yeah, it's
Oh,
a good,
that is
and
awesome.
he's done a lot of that. So, but as far as my other students, well, first of all, I would definitely tell all instructors that are doing the testing, if you haven't ordered the kit that comes that you can order that's free to promote it in your classroom and in the hallways and things, you definitely need to do that because that gets kids talking. And
Yes.
it's helped having Hunter. Anytime you've had success, and actually I've had 6 state champions, um, only one national champion,
And world.
and one
And what,
world placer. Yes.
yeah,
But when you have some history there, kids, kind of get on board with it because they see, oh wow, if I do this, I can go there and I can get this and I can do that. So that definitely helps. But so kids are, I mean, it's not hard to convince kids the value in getting your certification because they already know. I mean, because I I brag it up all the time. And and when I try to tell them the importance of it, number one, it definitely is a resume builder. When you can add that onto your skills list, Microsoft Office Specialist Word, Microsoft Office Specialist Excel, PowerPoint, etc. Um, that looks great. And then you've proven it. I mean, you don't just have it on paper, you've proven it. So when you go to apply for positions in the business world, I mean, it's the industry standard. They recognize that. They know you are very competent in those programs and highly employable. But one example I can give you in particular, it was probably 3 or 4 years ago. I had a student who received all three, well, Excel, Word, and PowerPoint. his certifications, and he didn't. I mean, he knew it was great to be able to put on his resume, but when he was in college, then he applied for an internship in engineering somewhere in Texas, and they wouldn't have even looked at him twice if he didn't have all 3 certifications. So those are those examples are great to be able to share with kids. Yeah, don't just take my word for it. This is really happening out there, and people in the business world know what it is. They know if you've got those certifications, you've got some great qualifications that are going to make you very employable. And a lot of the kids will be like, "Oh, this test is really hard." I said, if it wasn't, everybody would get certified and it wouldn't mean anything. This means something. And I tell them, but until they actually do it, I said, you have no idea how proud you're going to be of yourself. And I myself also will be. But the pride you feel, there's no words for it. And you can just see it on their face when they certify. It's so fun. And we celebrate. If you can see, I don't know, can you see the certificates behind us?
Yes.
Yeah, we've already done so far this semester Word and Excel. We won't get to PowerPoint probably till January, but what do we have? I don't know, over 60 some, maybe.
Wow.
I mean, just it's they've done awesome, just amazing. And we celebrate. We always have donuts afterwards.
Yes.
The next day, because to me, I mean, I'm a big cheerleader. And I'm very competitive, and I want that for them, you know. Yeah. And I think they see that and feel that and do the best they can. And I try to have them as ready as I can. So it's been fun.
Oh, I really love that. I love that you also celebrate after they receive the certification. That makes me so happy. And I think to your point, I think it's great for people to recognize what they've accomplished. And it is a big deal. Like you said, like it's hard. It is hard work and it requires so much practice and preparation. And it's awesome that you celebrate them after that, after they get over that hill. And I also love how you mentioned too that you shared the story about your student who applied for an internship, and they got it because they had those certifications. It really is incredible job. People who are posting jobs, people who are hiring, they say that like, hey, you need to be proficient in these 3 things, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and there's really no better way to prove that you actually are proficient than by taking an exam, saying like, you're certified in this. Not only do you know like how to sum something or how to format a PowerPoint, but you really understand the software itself. So I think that's great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Sure.
I would love to see pictures of the next party in January after the next round of certifications.
Okay.
But yeah, that is great. What advice, or I guess, Hunter, what advice would you give to students who are looking to earn their certifications and participate in the competitions?
First, I would say don't get discouraged if you don't do well on your first test. There is always another test to be taken, and there's always more practice to be put in, so that way you can take another test and then qualify. And then I would say keep putting in that practice because it has really paid off. And to me, the competitions weren't just about the scholarships or the awards, but it was really about meeting the people and making connections with the people I met along the way. So keep practicing, keep putting in the work. That is what I would have to say about the whole competition.
I love that. That's such valuable advice. People often email me saying, okay, what can I do to help prepare my students? And the biggest thing, it's practice. So thank you for sharing that. Thank you. And I'm so glad that you also mentioned the value of going there to meet others, because the truth of the matter, I mean, there's so many people who try to earn an invitation, and then there's students from all over the US and then the World Championship all over the world who are there to compete. And not everyone's going to win. Everyone is incredible. They're so smart, but not everyone wins. The prizes, right? The prizes that you see, but you can walk away with such valuable experiences that you can also add to your toolkit that will continue to help you professionally long after the competitions, after you graduate, so on and so forth. So thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Jen, what advice would you give to educators who are looking to help certify their students or help them prepare for the competitions?
Well, I guess probably I really, like I said earlier, just promote it. The more you talk about it, the more they start thinking about it, and they don't always hear it the first time, so you might have to, the more they hear it, the more they can get enthused about it. You just have to be excited about it, and have them ready, prepared, so that it's not a shock when they actually do test. Um, the preparation, the time, but then in fact, right now we do have the number one kid in Nebraska for work. Yeah, but we have a couple more weeks. Hopefully that holds. But
Yes, yeah,
if you do have a qualifier from your state, either in the fall or in the spring, I love the fact that they have an opportunity in the fall and the spring. Um, you really have got to be willing to put in that extra time outside of school in the summer, because it's the only way it'll happen. And Hunter knows it. And I am more than willing to do that because I love it. And when I have a student such as Hunter who is willing to put in that time and effort, um, to go for it, then it makes it easy. But
yeah.
it just takes preparation and time and a commitment to it. And it pays off.
100%.
Oh, I really love that. That's such fabulous advice. So thank you for sharing. And thank you for also calling out the qualifier. But congratulations on having a student in first place right now. I don't have my walls are I don't think that's a tangent. I won't get off on that tangent. But I knocked on hopefully they stay. The qualifier ends next Friday, the 15th. So
There you go. Yeah. So
so
just a
there's
week.
just a week, yeah. So there's still time to test for those who have not tested yet, and there's still time to try to get into that first place position or maintain it. But time is ticking. Thank you both so much for your time and for your insights. This has really been so invaluable. Really appreciate your feedback and for taking time to share your knowledge today. So thank you so much. In the follow-up email, I will include a link to request program kits so you can get those posters that you're referring to hang up in your classrooms. I love that. Those are good tools for you and for your students to get excited. So I'll include that link. And thank you again for your time. We really appreciate it. And hopefully we can see you again in 2024.
Thank you, Dominic, for inviting us. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you. We'll see you later.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.